Hello, everyone. I'm Vince Vachio from VSG Commerce, and along with me today is Jen Tracy from Jenco Creative. Yesterday, we discussed with a group of folks what we see happening across industries as companies work to reimagine and reinvent themselves online due to the current changes in the world's economic environment. Our purpose was to cover important areas of brand messaging and design, as well as share examples of what companies are doing online that are trying to pivot to communicate, sell, and service their customers. So, Jen, why don't you tell us a little bit more about the branding and messaging side?
Sure. Hello. Well, my name's Jen Tracy, and I'm the owner of Jenco Creative. We're a boutique graphic design studio here to help make your brand shine. And I wanted to share a few thoughts and suggestions as far as brand messaging right now during this unprecedented time in history. Everybody's taken a look around them, and we see companies evolving in how we're talking to our customers. Businesses having to reinvent themselves, whether it's working from home, whether it's needing to have a smaller work team, and also just getting creative on how to bring in new work and how to go about work. So, one of my biggest messages I'd like to give is don't go dark with your communication right now. It's very important to keep in some type of contact with your clients. And I do realize that it's a balancing act between saying saying too much, saying too little. But as you go forward, just keep in mind that we have been using email, Skype, Zoom, which everyone's gotten familiar with, and we don't seem to pick up the old fashioned phone as much. And I would say just give it a pick up, give it a try. People really like to hear a voice. It's actually a personal and real human connection. Another thing I see people doing to keep in contact, of course, are newsletters. And in the newsletters, the companies are telling their customers about store updates and hours, also what they're doing to keep things safe for if you're coming in shopping. I've also seen experts, such as my accountant, who sent me a newsletter that was all about tips for finances during the COVID crisis. And I thought that was really something that added great value for me, and it wasn't promoting their services in such a obvious way. Then, while you're doing your messaging, you need to really be aware to stay sensitive. It really is better to be a little too serious than be sorry. One mistake can have a wide reaching effect, unfortunately. And I think that maybe staying away from humor or being too casual is the best thing you can do. Of course, this doesn't mean you have to be somber in all your messaging. We can be uplifting. We can talk about coming together, using a helpful tone, that you're there for your customers. And being sensitive also, I would say, includes getting rid of any urgency messaging. We don't want to be talking with excitement right now. We don't want to be scarcity driven. Right now, that's not the top priority, and it's also not going to resonate with your customer because COVID-19 is the most important thing going on at the moment. I would also say focus on your contribution at this time and not just conversion and finding new customers. Your motive is to not get more business, but just to add value. People are trying to stay afloat. It's a really hard time. And give back to the community if you can. The act of goodwill of giving back to the community goes a long way. I've seen a few examples of everyone's probably seen a few examples, but some that stood out for me were restaurants that are giving free food to frontline workers. And Adobe is giving free subscriptions so people can continue educating themselves during this time while they're at home. And some gyms streaming online classes so you could exercise from your living room. I think overall, what I'm seeing is brands are showing their humanness. And they're doing that through messages of solidarity, messages of, coming together and compassion. Uh, there have been a few examples that I've really liked out there with how large brands are doing this. And one of the things I saw that really was clever was a McDonald's advertisement, and it had the golden arches separated. So the arches, instead of being together, were separated. And the tagline then said, McDonald's separated for a moment so we can be better together. And another ad I saw was just a thank you ad from Coca-Cola. And they were thanking all the frontline responders. They didn't even have a logo on their ad. It was just the shape of that iconic Coke bottle and all sorts of thank you words and, telling you who they're thanking that have been affected. So while this landscape is changing, this is the time to show your humanness and be a part of a community. Brand messaging and design are large ways that you can do this. So, just be sensitive, be compassionate, and be human in what you're putting out there to your customers. And keep in mind that it's really about conversion. I'm sorry, it's about contribution, not conversion at this point in time.
Well, thank you, Jen, for sharing your perspective and those great examples. In the
You're welcome.
world that I live in solutioning and site delivery, we're seeing several themes as well as we speak with current clients and prospective companies. First off, companies are looking and finding new businesses to enter, leveraging their core competencies in their supply chains in amazing ways. We're seeing a lot of companies that are B2B in nature moving towards direct to consumer as a better way to service and sell to their online customers. And then finally, we're seeing companies that have delayed for months and in some cases even years realize that their industry has or is moving online extremely quickly. The restaurant example you shared before, you know, goes into this category as well. So things are moving extremely fast. And for us, the definition of that, of the definition of fast is really now being marked in 30, 60, and 90-day increments versus in the past when it was more like 3 to 6 months. And so, therefore at VSG Commerce, what we've done as a company focused in on design and development and delivery is we've sort of revisited and revised our best practices around that process for creativity, usability, functionality, technical design, and delivery within our accelerator methodology, specifically for Oracle's Commerce Cloud. The outcome is a fully developed website with a very aggressive timeline for completion, leveraging pre-built assets, running again in a client's Oracle Commerce Cloud instance. Um, and it's really something that has become a game changer. And like I said, is really the way that people are acting right now as we go into the summer. Is they're looking at ways to do things as quickly as possible. So with that, we'd like to thank everybody. We would be thrilled to share additional information with you around brand messaging and solution delivery. So please feel free to reach out to either Jen or myself. We wish you, your families, coworkers, and communities all the best. So please stay safe and healthy, everyone. Take care.
Take care.